I could not crawl like any other kid. I was using my back to, I didn't use my hands to crawl.
The child will not be able, say, to walk at the age of 1 year.
Some people even, they push you, because of the way you walk, the way you talk.
Unapata daktari anakimbililia kukufanyia operation kama hajajua unaweza funguka njia.
But I said, no, let me just push like any other human being.
Hello and welcome. You're tuned to Health Nuggets, a show that educates and informs you on all matters health. Remember, we are also coming to you live on Facebook and YouTube. Today, we create awareness about cerebral palsy. What is cerebral palsy? How does it manifest? What are some of the red flags? How do people living with cerebral palsy manage? What challenges do they face? Thank you for tuning in. My name is Aida Munzatsi, and Health Nuggets starts now.
Cerebral palsy is a group of disorders that affects a person's ability to move and maintain balance and posture as a result of abnormal development of the brain or damage to the developing brain, affecting the child's ability to control his or her muscles.
I was born in cerebral palsy. It occurred during birth. So what I hear my mom say is that she noticed that I had cerebral palsy when I started crawling. I think so it was almost a year. I could not crawl like any other kid. I was using my back to, I didn't use my hands to crawl.
Mama aliniambia nilipata CP nikiwa mdogo, nikizaliwa. Venye alinipata sikuwa nimemachua. Nilikaa nursery miezi 3.
When I gave birth to him, I did not know whether he has a problem, but with time, 3 to 4 months, I realized there's something wrong with him, because when I was preparing him to sit, I was seeing the spinal is weak, around 7 months. So when I went to Kenyatta, they told me the child has a disability, of which they did not tell me which disability.
The brain damage that leads to cerebral palsy can happen before birth, during birth, a month after birth, or during the first years of a child's life while the brain is still developing.
When I talk about before, that is when the would-be mother is involved maybe in an accident or is unwell and they take medication. This can affect the unborn child. We have cases of when we talk about prolonged labor. The child becomes exhausted. They're not able to breathe in time. That causes the brain damage, which could result in a cerebral palsy. Then we have the other group. This is when a child has been born what we say normally, and they get something like jaundice, cerebral malaria, or even meningitis. Once they have this, then there is a possibility of the child acquiring cerebral palsy.
First of all, my mom took me to a regular school in nursery. So like other kids were able to write, like we were told to go when we were playing and we were on the field. They could write on the ground using their fingers, and when I tried it was difficult for me, so I could not. And like playing kati, Yes, I did. I played, but I could not hold the ball to reach to another person. I was so afraid of the society, what they say about me, how they look me. But with time, I came to accept myself. I knew I was different and there was no other me. So I just came to love myself from my mom's love. So I came to accept myself the way I am. I noticed I'm different, and that was me, and I was not good. So I had to love myself and accept the reality.
Nikiwa mdogo mama alinibeba, to be sincerely alinibeba hadi nikiwa na miaka 8 because nilikuwa natembea naanguka sana, so nilikuwa na struggle a lot. So alisimama na mimi, alikuwa ananipeleka shule na ananikujia.
22 years. My condition is cerebral palsy. So have been in school, have gone and primary education until I've done my KCPE examination.
Now, there's no official statistics of the prevalence of cerebral palsy in Kenya. However, it is estimated that 3 in every 100 children in Kenya live with the condition. Now, parents to children living with the condition are advised to seek early interventions. This will include different types of therapies.
It is extremely important for therapy. I'll give you an example. For any normal person, if today you didn't use your hand, that hand is going to become weak. And eventually, it will not work. This is the same thing with these children. What we do intervention. We give them therapy. Therefore, when you don't bring your child for therapy, this child will suffer deformities. As the child grows, the bones also grow. Therefore, it is important to have this child brought in. Sometimes, of course, it is difficult, especially when you take into account traveling via public means. There's a stigma, people staring at you, not really understanding. But one thing I always tell parents, you know yourself. This child does not have any other parent. You are the parent. And once you know the benefit of having this child and what they will benefit from therapy, you just have to overlook some of these things.
Massage is a technique that is used to aid the normalize of the muscles of the muscle. So it is a specific type, and you do in specific manner, maybe stroking of the spinal cord. So when you are stroking, you try to recruit more of the motor neurons. Fine. So those motor neurons can either stimulate the brain where the brain is damaged, so you get those sensations that travel to the muscles, so you reduce the tone that the child has. Then there is a joint stretching. You find we stretch off the joints of the child, so we try to increase the joint mobility. Yeah, we use joint compression. We get to compress of the joints. You find during joint compression, there is muscle receptors, proprioceptors in the joints that is normally that is normally essential for the movement and balancing of the child, and joint approximation. That is, the child can know where or she in the space, maybe walking, he or she can identify a joint where the other arm is. Maybe when she is feeding, she can pull off the hand to reach the mouth, so he can identify. So that is majorly what I try to do.
They are the voice of their children. So I give them hope, and to hope to the Lord. One day, one time, the child will improve. But with the fun enough with the cerebral palsy, when the child is neglected, the child can never improve, because the therapy is the only medicine to any child with disability, not CP only, but any child with a condition that is severe. The only medicine is therapy. So they have to be able to take their children where they can help them. If their child is under medication, wazingatie hiyo matibabu.
There's that pride when you see your child sitting, even if they will sit at the age of 3 years. However, they have achieved that. It is pride when we see our children just being able to lift a handkerchief. That is an achievement. And that is what we believe in here at CPSK. We give our best.
Although cerebral palsy has a great impact on various aspects of a person's life, it does not define what the person is.
So I was not shocked. For one, Nicholas, when I gave birth to him and I see the problems he has, one, I accepted him the way he is. So, because I asked myself, even if he was not like this, I would have accepted him. So I can't reject the child because he has a problem. So I have, as a mother, to help him and to do whatever it takes to improve the life of the child.
Okay, the only thing I do hate with passion is, you see, like when I'm walking in town, or maybe we are going to an office, maybe to ask for something, and instead, yes, I'm the one who the question is directed to, but you see the person asking my sister or my cousin instead of me. They should ask me because I can express myself, so they don't have to ask the person I'm with. That is a stigma that I hate. Don't just look at my physical appearance, get to know me, get to know the capabilities in me, get to know who I am, not just my physical appearance. Yeah.
Watu wengi wanachukua opportunity kutumia walemavu ndio wasaidike. Unapata walemavu wa Kenya mostly wengi wale kuna wale wamesoma, ni venye kwa ofisi hatuwezi toshea sisi wote. Mi Kenya naweza omba, kama unajua unaweza andika mlemavu wote kwa kazi kwa kampuni, usimjudge venye yako, mpatie hiyo kazi afanye, ndio ujue kama anaweza fanya. Juu unapata walemavu wengi wamesoma, wanauza city town, unasikia mimi nilisoma hadi form 4 university, ni venye nilienda kuuliza job mimi nikakosa. So pia watu wa kampuni ama mahali popote wachukue walemavu kama ni watu wamesoma kaa wengine. Hiyo tu ndio naweza sema. Tafadhali mtukubali, na ukikubali mlemavu wawili ama mmoja umesaidia pia wengine.
You see, when you're moving here and there in the See, there are people who they look at you as if you are a scarecrow, or they start to abuse you, or you are drunk, you don't know how to walk. So they try to it's like they are showing you they are disrespecting you, by abusing you. Some people even they push you, because of the way you walk, the way you talk, they push you, and you wonder, is this person normal? Because how can you push push your fellow human being,
Josephine and Anne are mothers. They tell me that they had a normal pregnancy. However, due to stigma from the society's view of cerebral palsy, they faced challenges during delivery.
Okay, sorry kwa kusema, unapata daktari anakimbililia kukufanyia operation kama hajajua unaweza funguka njia. So mimi naweza taka kusema pia madaktari waelewe walemavu pia, kwa sababu pia walemavu wanaweza za normal. Yes, ukishafanywa na uko na disability, uko na disability mara mbili. So can you imagine unaenda ndio unafanyia hiyo CS na ama operation yoyote ya tumbo. Unajua ukishafanyiwa inakuanga na changamoto pia, huwezi fanya kitu mzito. So ni poa sana pia madaktari waelewe walemavu wanaweza za normal kama watu wengine.
I first of all went to Pumwani, and even before the doctors looked at me, no, they just looked at my appearance and they said, we can't handle this. So we had to look for an alternative with my mom. So we had to go all the way to Kenyatta with all that pain. So I went to Kenyatta. Lucky enough, they accepted me and they admitted me. So I gave birth there. Normally, although the doctors were suggesting I do CS, but I said no, let me just push like any other human being.
That was quite unfortunate. Now, with continued care, both children and adults living with cerebral palsy can live an active and fulfilling life.
Nataka kuambia wapende watoto wao kama venye wanapenda wale watoto wako able. Pia hao ni watu kama hao wengine, ni watoto kama hao wengine. So na ni changamoto, mzazi asifungie mtoto wake mali yako, amwache tu akue free, ajue kuna watoto wengine wenye wako able lakini wanaweza cheza na watoto wengine. So unapata okay, like wazazi wengine wanasema hatuwezi watoto wao wataki wajulikane venye wako. Mimi naweza taka kuambia ni poa sana watoe watoto wao, because changamoto in life ni lazima. Hata mwenye ako normal anapitia changamoto yake. Mimi naweza sema hakuna mwenye si mlemavu. Kuna walemavu ni tofauti. Eri yetu inaonekana kwa viungo kuliko yenye unaona mtu ako sawa na ujui Kenya anapitia kwa mwili yake. So nataka kuambia wazazi wasione kama ni mzigo, wafurahie watoto wao kwa sababu watoto wao ndio daraja yao ya kesho.
You know, there are so many misconceptions about cerebral palsy. Most people think that if you have cerebral palsy, you can't give birth, you can't date, you can't live a normal life like any other person. So me, I just want to say to them, we are just normal. The only difference is that maybe I'm different because of my maybe mobility, my speed, but I'm okay in other ways.
People with disability, they can do a lot. So for me, I was trying to show them that people with disability, they should not be neglected or to be mocked due to the condition or due to the disability.
Indeed, disability is not inability, and from what we've seen, there is need to continue creating awareness about cerebral palsy in order to include and protect those living with the condition, their caregivers, and their entire family. And of course, we have a better understanding of cerebral palsy. Thank you for tuning in to Health Nuggets. My name is Aida Munzatsi. Until next Monday, your health matters.